Welcome to the Dreams Unlimited Travel Parents Panel Podcast. My name is John Magi, and I'll be your host. And in this episode, we're going to talk to Hannah Anderson about a recent Disney Wish sailing she took with her son, Owen. I'm excited to hear about Owen's experiences on the Disney Wish and the good, the bad, and the ugly of that travel. I am joined this week by Dreams Unlimited Travel agent and Diz Unlimited podcast member, Hannah Anderson.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And producer extraordinaire and tiki lover, apparently, Craig Williams.
Ahoy, hoy. Thanks for having me, John.
Thanks for being here. All right. So this is part 2 of our discussion with Hannah about her Disney Wish sailing. Correct me if I'm wrong. You did a 4-night sailing on the Disney Wish, kind of a last-minute booking that you were able to secure for your family, and you went with your son, Owen.
That's right. It was his first Disney cruise and my first time on the Disney Wish. So it was a lot of new and exciting things. And I'm happy to report that we're looking forward to hopefully sailing again as a family soon. So it was a good trip. And I think, one of our favorite Disney vacations.
That's awesome. So we're going to get into dining with your son, dining with a 2-year-old on the Wish. But before we do that, tell me what you thought of the Disney Wish. You know, there's a lot of controversy out there. There are folks who don't like this cruise ship, especially compared to the legacy or older Disney ships. So tell me your opinions, Hannah. I'm interested.
Sure. So, going into it, I have heard all of those opinions. I used to work at Disney Cruise Line, and I have previous coworkers who kind of didn't love it either, to be honest. I heard a lot of feedback about the adult areas not being what people wanted, or the food not being what they wanted. And so I kind of went into it. I love Disney, but I'm definitely a realist. And so I kind of went into it honestly with low expectations in the sense of, I wasn't expecting it necessarily become my new favorite Disney ship. I knew, Disney Cruise Line is obviously a phenomenal product. The service is always great. All the pictures, it's a beautiful ship, obviously. So I knew we were going to have a good time, but I went into it just, kind of like, all right, let's see what we think. And I really, really love the Disney Wish. And I almost am worried about now being disappointed sailing on some of the legacy ships, just because, it is so stunning. The atrium, the staterooms are just, so modern. Everything is light and just, everything has like gold touches, and just, I want my home decorated that way. And actually, because this was our first time sailing as a family, I really feel like the Disney Wish was designed more with families in mind. And so I think with it being our first time sailing as a family and our first time on that particular ship, I was very pleasantly surprised. I think, for us, the way the lounges are set up was a perk. So, on the legacy ships, the lounges, the adult exclusive areas are kind of in their own area. So they're not out in the open. You wouldn't necessarily walk through them to get to other, things on the ship. Whereas the Disney Wish, they're near the theater and near the atrium and some of the gift shops. And for us, we enjoy going to the lounges, but we had our 2-year-old with us. And so we would take them with us. And I know some people are like, oh my gosh, you're that person, or why would you do that? But for us, we went on this vacation as a family to spend time together. And that's something that my husband and I enjoy doing. So we especially enjoyed the hyperspace Star Wars themed lounge. You can bring children in there up until, I believe, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Just check the Navigator app on that. And because, there is so much theming, and obviously you're looking out the window at different Star Wars ships and planets, that was kind of entertainment for him. Also, the Bayou Lounge is kind of, it's themed after Princess and the Frog, and it's kind of open to the ship, and they have live music and sometimes crafts and family activities during the day. It was a great way for us to experience, but also, bring Owen and it feel like a family environment. Like, we weren't necessarily like disrupting other people, or it wasn't like, oh, I need to get my kid out of here kind of thing. So, I mean, for us trying to marry those two things together, it was great. I also feel like the area where the Toy Story splash pad is, and the Rexosaurus or Partysaurus Rex slide is, that is a much bigger dedicated space than the other ships. And it felt kind of secluded in a way where I didn't have to worry about him, running far off, or, it was a designated space for kids. And then additionally, the Chip and Dale pool that's one deck above that is a family pool. And I would kind of compare it to, on the Dream and the Fantasy, the Satellite Falls pool, which I really love. So it was nice being able to have some of those amenities and then also be able to include my family in it. And, I will say, like, a 2-year-old, like, they're not going to be happy in a lounge for hours. So, you go in, you have one drink, and then that's it. But I don't know. I thought they did a really great job keeping in mind that, just, the majority of families on a Disney cruise, or the majority of guests on a Disney cruise, are families. Okay. And then one last thing I really liked about the Disney Wish is the, okay, I'm going to say it, I kind of like the elevators. I think I'm the only person to say. So on the Disney Wish, there's 2 sets of elevators. So forward and the aft, there's not a midship elevator option. However, the elevators are, there's only 2. They're a little bit closer to midship. And so our stateroom was towards the aft. I didn't feel like I was having to walk so far to get to the forward and the aft elevators. I typically don't really use the midship elevators on the other ships anyways, because they tend to be the busiest as well. So was it very crowded on embarkation and debarkation day? Absolutely. Was it an issue the rest of the cruise? No, I didn't mind it. So, and then one more thing they have, so on the Dream and the Fantasy, you really can only get specialty coffees at the Cove Cafe, which is adult exclusive, an adult exclusive area. And I like a good cup of coffee in the morning. And if you order a latte, they put a Disney character on top. And who doesn't love that? And so being able to, they have multiple coffee shops in the atrium area. So being able to, like, as a family, grab a good cup of coffee in the morning, and I got a 2-year-old, I was tired. That was game changing. So I'm a fan. Long story short.
It's great. All excellent stuff. I'm glad you really enjoyed it. You mentioned something that I love. I love the coffee stations throughout the ship. I don't have to travel all the way to one end to get my coffee. You can sort of get it on the way to other stuff. And, you're the only person in the world who likes cruise ship elevators. So that's an interesting.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a good thing, because we got 2 more ships coming out that, are going to have the same elevators. So
same design, elevators.
I'm ready for them.
Excellent. Good. That is all great to hear. I'm so excited. Let's talk about food. So all of our favorite topics, of course. Specifically, I'm interested to hear your experiences with Owen on the ship as far as dining went, what he liked, what he didn't like, how that experience was for you and your husband as well. So I think you mentioned last time that you booked second dining. Were you able to switch it to main dining when you got on board?
So we were waitlisted. So you can, if second dining is the only time available, either you or your travel agent can put you on the wait list for main dining. And thankfully, we were moved to main dining before setting sail. But if we hadn't have been, I would have gone to the dining meeting, which is on embarkation day. In our case, on the Disney Wish, it was in the Luna Lounge, I believe is where you could go to it. So just, when you check in or at the cruise ship terminal or when you first open the Disney Navigator app, just look to see where that dining meeting is. It sounds like from what I've heard from other guests and from clients is that normally they can accommodate you. Not always, but just, keep that in mind. Because I will say if we had, only had the second dining at 8:15, I don't know that we could have pulled that off with our 2-year-old, just because, he usually is in bed at that point. So we would have tried, but it would have been tough. So fortunately, we did have main dining.
There would have been other options. Obviously, there are things you could do that, not being in the main dining rooms, of course, is not fun, but you could have accommodated in another way. And I'm going to say my big tip to people, if you can't get it before you get on the ship and you go to the dining manager and you talk to them, be nice. Being nice will get you so far. If you go in and you have an attitude and you have a chip on your shoulder, people are not going to be as responsive to you. So just be nice to folks and things happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what was your dining rotation? What was your first night? Let's start with that.
Yeah. So our first night we were at Worlds of Marvel. And this was a completely new experience for us because we had not been on the Disney Wish. And at that point, I didn't know, prior to sailing, I had put in a request for a table with just our family. And frankly, it's just the only way we've cruised before. And I didn't know, if the 2-year-old, depending on who you sat with, would we be a disruption, whatever. So we get to dinner the first night and we are sat with another family. And I have to say, I knew this, but Disney does a phenomenal job with matching families and different groups together at dinner. And it was almost uncanny how much we had in common. Like their son was around the same age. They just had one child. We just really hit it off with them. And I was pleasantly surprised. I think dining with a child and having another child at the table was really helpful. If he, threw a tantrum or whatever and feel so bad about it. And then B, they kind of played together and played off of each other. And so I think that sets up for success. But so I'll tell you, one of the things I will say about the Disney Wish is the rotational dining food I did not enjoy as much. I did not really enjoy the dinner at Worlds of Marvel, the food. I don't know if it's just what I had, but anyways, it was not my favorite. However, I thought the show was a lot of fun. Now Spider-Man comes out at the end of the dinner, and that was a huge hit. I feel like, everybody's a Spider-Man fan, pretty much, it seems like. But Spider-Man came out and basically took pictures at every table, and there were lots of kids dressed up as Spider-Man, and it was great because it gave Owen entertainment where it didn't feel like he was just sitting down, eating a dinner. One thing that was really awesome is that, and this is true for adults too, but every night at dinner, they already had Owen's drink waiting for him. They provide sippy cups, straw cups for little ones at dinner. So that was there waiting on him. They always, the menus double as a coloring page. So they always had that for him with crayons. And then when you order your appetizer, your first course as an adult, you go ahead and order your little one's entire meal. So by the time our appetizer came out, his meal was coming out. So that was great. You're not having to wait around, as they get anxious or hangry like I do. So that was great. And then one thing they pointed out is obviously there's a full menu of kids items, but they can also, do, I think, chicken fingers, mac and cheese, a cheeseburger, pizza every night. So if that's not on the menu, just ask if there's something in particular that your kid wants. So, and they cut up the food for your kids. So that was awesome. I felt like I was kind of, off duty a little bit. So that was great. Really nice.
I agree about the food. That was not my favorite restaurant, but more importantly, did he enjoy it? Did he seem to eat it, or was it kind of like push it around his plate and then be more?
No, he did eat it. I think that night he had, I think he had spaghetti that evening and then ended it with a Mickey bar. So, hard to not like that. So, and that's a big deal too. Yeah, exactly. Got all his nutrition for the day. So, but that's a big deal too. I mean, you want your kid to eat, because I know for us, sometimes if Owen doesn't eat during mealtime, he's then, at 10 p.m. looking for something to eat. But that's okay on Disney Cruise Line, because you can order room service and get him mac and cheese at 10 p.m. if you need to. So that's pretty cool. But our second night, we had the Arendelle, the Frozen dining show. So we kind of came in strong with two of the more dinner show type seatings. And I would say that even more so was entertaining for him, because Anna and Elsa are there, and Kristoff and Olaf, and there's live music. So that was great. Like that was, again, I hate to say it, I didn't love the food there either.
That's the theme.
Yeah. So I know I just bragged on the Disney Wish, but, I didn't like those two dinners in terms of food. But I mean, I gotta tell you, my perspective has changed now. And because the show was entertaining and my kid was happy, I really didn't care. I mean, like, I really enjoyed both of those, and he was happy, so I was happy. So I think that is a big perk, is like those, dinners, whether it's Worlds of Marvel or on the other ships, if it's, oh my gosh, what is, why can't I not think of it? The Finding Nemo show. I'm a bad travel agent right now.
You are a bad travel agent.
I know. Animator's Palette. So the Animator's Palette meals, anything that has that extra entertainment, I would say don't miss that, because that was a big hit for Owen. So I will say I did love, absolutely adore the food at 1923. Like, I felt like that was almost too good to be rotational dining on a Disney cruise. Like, I thought it was awesome. That was also the night where Owen, he skipped a nap. And so dinner did not go well. And he ate his meal. I ate my appetizer. And then, the waiters tried giving him like little toys, and we tried all kinds of stuff, and it wasn't going well. So I just said, all right, we're out of here. Like, let's, spare everyone and just go up to the room. And what's really cool is they will pack up your dinner to go for you. And then my husband brought me, the server was really sweet and gave me like a plate of all of the desserts, and he brought that up to the room for me later. So I didn't miss out on the dinner, which was very cool. So, and I got to eat filet on my veranda. So it was fine. Even when you pivot, it's okay. So yeah, one other tip I didn't realize before going on the cruise is if you have kids and you're okay with doing the screen time thing, through the Navigator app, you can stream some Disney Plus content. So if you don't have a Wi-Fi package, if you don't have cell service, at sea, any of those things. They're like, let's say you're at dinner and you're like, I just need to put on an episode of Bluey. You can do that without having those packages. So that is a huge perk, I think, as well, to get through those dinners.
Oh, that's good to know. That's excellent to know.
Yeah.
What did Owen do the night that you went back to the stateroom? Did you bring stuff back for him, or did you order room service?
He ate a little bit of his meal. We did make it that far. And then, yes, we did. We did end up ordering room service for him. Popular items that we ordered from room service was, this is like a me tip too. I always order just the glasses of water from room service because they're free. I mean, it literally comes in like a glass with like cellophane over it. But like for him, I would fill up all of his sippy cups and keep them in the fridge in the room. They also have apple juice and milk at no additional cost. So you can kind of keep those in the room if you need them. But mac and cheese was a big hit. We ordered that a lot. Chicken tenders, French fries. You can do assorted fruit. So those are all kid-friendly options. So you can order Mickey bars, cookies at night. So there's lots of stuff you can order through room service. So we definitely took advantage of that. So that was a hit. Also, I'm kind of bouncing around, but we really loved the Festival of Foods area, the different quick service options on the pool deck. I thought those were fantastic. And so we actually skipped the pirate night dinner and just did that. And I was happy about it. It was good. And it also kind of freed up our evening where we didn't spend as much time at dinner. And then that way, we can get to the pirate deck party and just kind of let him be on his schedule a little bit.
I have to tell you, your food assessments are exactly what I thought on the Wish. So we're right on the same page.
All right. Maybe not about the elevators, but
the food. But it sounds to me like he didn't go without, right? There was no instance where you thought to yourself, boy, I don't have anything for him to eat. He's not eating what's available to him. So that's good to know too.
Yeah. Yeah. We also actually, this was a tip from Michaela Porter, another Dreams Unlimited travel agent who also has a toddler. She told me, and we ended up doing this it's a buffet at Marceline Market, especially at breakfast time. We would they have cartons of milk. They have cereal, they have bananas, things that you can easily take back to your room. So we did that as well, just so we had some snack type things, or milk, juice in the room. So that was a great tip that we took advantage of too.
Yeah. Here's the deal. You're not going to go hungry
on
any cruise, but specifically Disney is good about kid stuff. This is what they do. They're always ranked, number one cruise line for families and kids. So they know what they're doing. So that's always good to know. Let's move on to, did you do any shore excursions? Did you do anything that was, part of the sort of, I'm going off the ship at this port, other than Castaway Cay?
No, we did not. And we have in the past, especially for this cruise, because it was our first time on the Disney Wish. I just really wanted to soak up everything on board. So, and that's becoming more popular. So I will say it's not like the ship was empty on our day at Nassau. It definitely was quieter than a day at sea though. So that was a really great opportunity for us to feel like we, got to see and do everything on board, because it, there is so much and it was brand new to us. So no, we did not do any port adventures at Nassau, and Castaway Cay. We did not book any port adventures or extras, so to speak.
So tell us a little bit about your day on Castaway Cay, about what you did, where you hung out, food perhaps.
Yeah, so this was, I went into this as I have mentioned Serenity Bay is my happy place. If somebody wants to scatter my ashes there one day, that would be great. Sorry, that was morbid, but no, that is like, I love
illegal. Just want to,
it is illegal. You're not. Yeah. Don't do that. That was a horrible joke. That was highly illegal. But no, just to show you, I absolutely adore Serenity Bay. And I was one of those people pre having Owen. I would, go by the family beach and be like, no, I'm never doing this. So I will say, we had originally booked time in the afternoon at the Small World Nursery for Owen with the intention of doing family time in the morning at the family beach, going back on the ship, letting him have nap time, taking him to Small World Nursery, and then us coming back in the afternoon to enjoy Serenity Bay, the adult exclusive beach. We ended up not doing that, and we had a really great day. I was surprised. The family beach, it didn't impact what I knew about my experience at Castaway. So we got off pretty much as soon as you could. So we were off the ship bright and early. And then we didn't get back on till, I want to say 2:30. So, and we were pushing it, he usually takes a nap in the afternoon. But we had a good time. So we just, got there. We met some of the characters. Again, really great character interactions. Not the kind of lines that you're used to at Walt Disney World per se. Those times and information that also can be found in the Navigator app. Those character meet and greets happen earlier in the day. So just kind of keep that in mind. They're not out there, after lunch necessarily. But yeah, that was great. And then we just kind of set up at the family beach. We kind of got our spot, and Owen played in the sand and in the water. So that was pretty much our day there. So another thing that I love about Serenity Bay is I always thought their buffet was so much better. And so I was kind of hurt by that. So what we did was, because I thought they were very different buffets, is Owen and I went to one of the Cookies barbecue. I can't remember if it was one or two. We went to the family beach barbecue. They have high chairs there, so that's good to know. Got him, I think he had a hot dog that we cut up for him and some chips and some fruit. I got a couple things there. And then I sent my husband to Serenity Bay. I was like, hey, go check out the buffet. And if they got stuff that's better, bring it back. So I do, they do have steak. They have ribeye at it's Serenity Bay. They do not have that at the family beach buffet. That is the only difference. So I have a really great video of my husband where he's like holding a plate of steak on the on the tram back to the family beach. So I did not miss out on anything. But yeah, so I was kind of pleasantly surprised by that. I think there's this mystery about, the adult beach, and other than the steak, which you can send your husband or whoever to go get for you. So we ate there. We went early because the buffet does get pretty busy at the family beach. But yeah, we did that, and we got soft serve as one does there. And yeah, we had a great time, and I was kind of nervous about it because that, like I said, is my happy place.
My experience has always been with the food is that it's the same quality at Serenity Bay as it is at Cookies. I just feel like, from someone who doesn't have kids, Serenity Bay is just a little bit more relaxed.
It is
not as Lord of the Flies as it is at Cookies. But it sounds like you guys had a great time. But so, how about Owen and eating on Castaway Cay? Did he find what he wanted? He was able to eat get enough to eat? How did that work out?
Yeah, so that was fine as well. I mean, I would say he did not have a balanced meal that day. I don't remember seeing like macaroni and cheese or chicken tender or something like that, which I guess isn't really healthy anyways, but that's where we're at. That's what he eats now. But they had fresh fruit, and they had like a macaroni salad, and they had hamburgers and hot dogs. They had bags of chips, those kind of things. So, I mean, I would say not as many options maybe as like Marceline Market on the ship or Festival of Foods by the pool deck, but it was kind of a non-issue for us. I think he did have 2 chocolate chip cookies. So if you can't tell, we're one of those families. We go on vacation and all the rules just go completely out the window. So he did fine. It's funny. We splurged on one of those. I think actually you can see it in the background this way. The Sven sippers that like has the smoothies in it. That's another thing I kind of scoffed at before. I was like, why would you spend, I don't know, $20 on a smoothie in a giant plastic cup? But it made him really happy. So, which means we were happy. So yeah, he had a smoothie. So that's somewhat healthy, but no, I mean, it was pretty easy. One thing I will say, maybe I would do differently next time at Castaway is we were bold and we chose not to bring a stroller with us. And that was fine on the ship. It was fine most of the time. When we got to Castaway, I wish we had, for us, I think just like he was in a phase, he's a big kid now and he's heavy and he wanted to be held walking like to the buffet and back to the tram. And we had a beach bag with us and the towels and everything. I wish we had a stroller that day. One thing I do want to say about strollers is it would be, if you were bringing your usual larger stroller, it would be very hard to get that in and around the stateroom. So if you are planning to bring a stroller on a cruise, if possible, I would bring a smaller travel stroller or umbrella stroller. But that's why I ended up going to the spa, because I like pulled my back out, lugging him around. Because we walked to the family beach instead of taking the tram.
Oh, wow.
So the plan was to meet the characters, but then, I was like, he's a heavy kid. So that would be my tip. Maybe bring a stroller or don't walk.
It's not only him, it's everything else you want to bring. Yeah. So, I mean, it's all your other stuff and the things you got to bring to make your day more pleasant. Excellent. All right. Anything we want to talk about for Castaway Cay that we didn't mention? I think you covered everything, and it sounds like you had a great time.
Yeah, I think, one thing I would say about traveling with that toddler age group is that you may be thinking there's not as much for little ones to do because, he's not going to rent a bike or go snorkeling or the slides and some of those activities are a little too big for him. But there is a splash pad over by the buffet. So that was kind of a nice way for us to kind of break up that beach time. And I mean, it seems like all kids love splash pads. So I was very thankful that it was there. It could definitely use some more comfortable seating because we probably could have spent all day there for the adults. But that was something I didn't necessarily think about going into it. So if you're looking to kind of break up the day with a little one, there is a splash pad. It's called Spring a Leak, and it's over by Cookies 2. So that might be a hit for your kids.
Excellent. Good tip. Anna, thanks so much. All this was really great information.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I was excited to talk about it, and hopefully we'll go on more cruises and I'll have more to share.
I'm sure you will. I just want to remind folks, if you're looking to book a vacation, you can reach out to Hannah. It's Hannah at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com or your Dreams Unlimited Travel agent directly. If you don't have a Dreams Unlimited Travel agent, you can write to me, John at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, and I will get you over to somebody for sure. Thank you guys for participating in this conversation. I truly appreciate it. Thank you everybody at home for listening and watching. We hope you have a great week and we hope you have a great vacation.